Fires, politics, and insane prices have people leaving California in droves and moving to places like Washington State. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm glad you're here today because we're talking about a very important and sensitive subject, which is all the fires that have been happening in California recently and just the mass exodus of folks leaving California and going to other states. What I want to unpack today is the fires. We'll do like a brief overview of the fires and then just kind of talk about the impact of the real estate market, both in California and in other states, where people are moving to, why they're moving, and what's going to happen next. So what's been happening, unless you've lived under a rock the last couple months, you know that the California fires in Southern California have just destroyed the community down there. Tens of thousands of structures have been destroyed. The estimates for the amount of damage are all over the board, but I'm seeing in excess of 250 billion. That is an unfathomable number. Our brains literally cannot comprehend that, 250 billion. I'm seeing that it's the size of Manhattan, that all those structures have burned down, many square miles, entire communities gone, tens and tens of thousands of people displaced. And so it is very severe. It is the most damaging fire ever recorded in the United States. We have some folks that say, you know, this fire was entirely politicians' fault. We have some folks that say it was completely unstoppable. We have a lot of people that are somewhere in the middle, which is probably more of the right approach, that, you know, things could have been done, but also it was very unfortunate. It was very dry down there. We had the Santa Ana winds, and so it is very unfortunate. As for a quick overview of the policies, the things that were and weren't done down there, the things that I know are facts that we could probably all agree on, a lot of the water dams were empty, which is really unfortunate. The fire budget was cut just right before all these fires broke out. That is really, really unfortunate. There was a weak proactive response to this fire. There was more that could have been done before the fire really broke out, and that is too bad. Brush was not allowed to be cleared in the name of environmentalism. This has been going on for a very long time in California, but it really, no pun intended, exploded in their faces here and ended up doing lots more harm than good. California is the #1 state that we have clients moving from when they call us, when they set up appointments with us, and for good reason. It's very expensive. Right now in Clark County, Washington, we have a median sale price of around $540,000, which is still very affordable for the West Coast, though yes, it is expensive, but it's nothing in comparison to California. Let's talk about some average home prices in these big markets. LA right now, where these fires were mostly happening, the average home price is $950,000. What kind of money do you have to make to afford a $950,000 house? A lot of the homeowners in California, they're older because they have owned the home for a really long time, they inherited it, they, you know, make multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars combined, but $950,000, like, that's a huge price tag. So that's what's going on in LA right now. San Francisco is $1,242,000. Crazy, that's like 25% higher than LA. San Diego, $952,000, it's around the same as LA. Orange County, $1,165,000. These are all very, very high prices. To give you some perspective, here in Clark County, less than 10% of our market is over $1 million, so it's quite a rare price point, and here it's just the average everyday home. When we get people who move out of California and inquire with us to move to Washington, we see it all across the board. We see working class families who are teachers, nurses, firefighters, right? They're making good income, but they're not like, you know, making $200,000 or $300,000 a year each. They want to move out, but we also get people on the complete other side of the spectrum who are making a combined $500,000 to $1 million a year, and even they feel the crunch of the money, which is very interesting. Very interesting. We know that taxes are very high in California. I have many of my clients from California cite that they're paying about 50%, maybe even a little bit more of their total income away to taxes. That does include federal, but you know, they're looking at it all in one bucket, and we certainly are not paying 50% in total here in Washington. Of course, just general cost of living in California is very high right now. When we talk about utilities, gas, groceries, gas and groceries are just higher in California. I couldn't really find any good stats for you guys, but I know they are. Utilities are very problematic in California. They have peak usage, believe is what they call it, for electricity, and they charge you way more down there. I mean, people have $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000 bills per month. That is completely unheard of here, and it can make a big difference if you move to somewhere where it's more reasonable. So where are people moving from California? Where are they going? Well, I have pulled the top 5 states for you, and I'm going to read them out in order. They won't come as too much of a surprise because you've heard this all over the news the last 5 years. The number 1 is Texas. Number 2 is Arizona. Number 3 is Nevada. Number 4 is Washington. Hey, that's us. Let's go. And then number 5 is Florida. Notice a trend in this list. Every one of these states except for Arizona has no state income tax. And Arizona has a flat rate state income tax of 2.5% for personal income tax. People want to pay less taxes. That is absolutely a fact. I have yet to have a meeting with someone who said they want to pay more taxes. So they are fleeing to those states with no state income tax. Let's talk about really what I want to talk about in this video, and that's the macro effects of these fires in LA. It is naive to think that it's just the impact's just gonna stay contained to LA or California. It's going to affect everyone in the nation, and here's how that's gonna happen. My first prediction, really unfortunately, is that home insurance is gonna go up. You may be saying, Hannah, no, my home insurance is not gonna go up. I don't live in California, I'm not anywhere close. The payouts the insurance companies are looking at here are insane. Like, I don't know if they have the money to pay out all of this, so it's a huge problem. It's compounded by the California Insurance Commissioner said that, they can't cancel policies, they can't pull out of the state. Well, that's a problem because then these insurance companies are looking at their books saying, we don't have the money to cover all these potential losses, but you're making us stay. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, not interjecting my opinion here, but it just factually is an issue. The insurance companies are going to need to look at their books and recover these losses if, say, these payouts are going to bankrupt them. They're going to find a way to spread those losses among everyone and increase rates nationwide. So as unfortunate as that is my prediction with insurance rates. I also believe that tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands, will leave California, even if they're not in affected areas. We've already gotten calls from folks in Southern California saying, we were thinking about moving, but now we're really thinking about moving because we don't want that to happen to us. I have not gotten any calls from anyone yet who has actually lost their house. I bet I will at one point. I bet I will. But I think that folks are going to flee, and we're going to see even more people leaving California. I know for a fact that businesses will leave as well. We've seen lots and lots of big businesses exit and remove their headquarters from California, move them to places like Texas has been the number 1 more business-friendly state. I think that we will see even more of that. It will continue to grow. This one's really unfortunate. I think that the LA housing market is going to get even worse. It is going to get even more unaffordable. I have a lot of realtor friends down in the affected area, and they've said that rents have been jacked up for available properties. People are paying incredibly high prices for existing homes on the market because they've lost theirs, they have nowhere to go. And it really is going to continue to be a separation between the super upper class wealthy people and middle class, working class. That division is going to get even bigger. The folks who have money right now to go buy another house if their house has been destroyed, maybe they got an extra $100,000 laying around that they can, just throw out a house. They're going to get the house, they're going to win the house, they're going to bid more for it, and they're going to continue to build their wealth through real estate. And the folks who don't have the extra money sitting around, they're going to have a hard time re-entering the homeownership market, and there already weren't enough homes, and now there's even less, and it just is not good. And so it's going to get more expensive. They have so many regulations down in California for building and development. I know they keep saying on the news that they're gonna push the permits through. I really hope they do, but I don't have a lot of trust in that promise. So those are the thoughts I wanted to share about the fires in California and their impact across the nation and in Washington state. I do think we'll get a lot of those fire refugees. I have had clients in the past who've lost homes in wildfires, and they like life up here. They know that their house is not going to burn down at any given moment. You don't have to worry about wildfires in the city here in Vancouver and Camas. It's nice. If you were affected by the fires in California, we feel for you and our hearts go out to you. If we can help you sell or buy a home in Clark County, Washington, we'd love to serve you at Dubyne Realty Group. So text, email, or DM us. Our contact information is down below. Let us know what you think about everything going on in California, and we hope to see you again soon.